Okay, part 2. See how fun it is to be distracted. I completely just was babbling on, and 8 minutes it went by. Here's my point, though, okay? The true comedians actually know how to deliver their information in a funny format. Because, you know, even in Greece, man, when they were doing their Greek tragedies and their comedies and stuff like that, their comedies and their tragedies were interwoven, and Shakespeare kind of expounded on that, where a lot of his plays, there's humor in there. And some of it is, yeah, it's perverse as hell. Why? Because everybody enjoys a good dirty joke. And if you don't, then you know what? There's something wrong. Okay? I know that I look like a kid. I get carded every time I go and buy, you know, cigarettes or the occasional bottle of wine, like the once or twice a year bottle of wine, you know, because I'm a broke drunk. Okay, I can't afford to drink, so that's why I don't. You know, but yeah, Shakespeare was a filthy man, but he was a smart one too. And there's rumors that says, oh, Shakespeare didn't write his shit, somebody else did. And it's like, whatever, his name's on it. So you weren't there to see whether or not he wrote them or not, so fuck off. Anyway, you know, it's, you know, and in this society you have to always pick a side. You have to always, you know, be pro something or against something. You can't be neutral. If you're neutral, then you're a pussy. Well, you know, I'm the type of person where I just step back and I watch it all, and I'm just like, how about I pick nothing, man? How about I pick everybody has the freedom to choose whatever side they want to be on, and fuck off if you think that they're wrong. You know, I'm just the type of person where it's like, I live my life my way, other people live their lives their way, and it's all gravy. Unfortunately, not everybody feels that way. You know, the court jester, like I was saying, they knew how to tell the king the truth. Anybody else would try to come up and tell the king, hey, yo, so-and-so from this other, you know, this other village said that this other king wants to kick your ass. They would, you know, get shot, stabbed, head chopped off, whatever, you know, set on fire for being a heretic, for being a bullshitter, for being a fire starter, for whatever. Why? Because they weren't on that same level as the jester was that was able to tell the king, hey, look, you know, that tax really isn't a good idea, man. I don't know what you were thinking, man. And the king goes, oh, you know, I was thinking about that the other day, but now that you mentioned it, man, because the jester was his right-hand man, okay? Forget what you heard. It was not, you know, the general or whatever, or the fucking military. It was the jester. The general was basically the king's right-hand bitch. Okay? Because the kings used to fight in the battles, and then for some reason they thought they were too good to fight anymore, and they started just, you know, sitting there, eating their, you know, their big old pot roasts on the gold platters and shit, you know, and sit there and wait for the general to come back and say, hey, we stormed that castle, we got the flag, you know, Koopa was in there, and we saved the princess, and hey, we're back, you know. King started, you know, just, you know, watching the action by, you know, reading the reports or whatever. And that's what our government is like today. Okay, you got the president and his little cabinet and his little Congress and his little this and that, and they're just sitting there going, yeah, let's throw some more money at that war. Yeah, let's send some more troops. Yeah, sounds good. They're sitting there in their cushy little chairs and their cushy little tables and their cushy little rooms eating their cushy little food. And, yeah, you know, it's pretty fucked up because the ones that are going out there and fighting, they come back, they're not the same. They saw death. They saw disaster. They saw chaos. They saw pain. They had to kill people that they did not want to kill. They had to, you know, plunder and steal and, you know, whoop some ass that they didn't really want to do. But why did they do it? Because they loved their country, they loved their king, and they were loyal. Okay? And they come back, and the king's like, oh, thanks. Carry on. No. No, You treat them like they were heroes, because that's how it was back in the day. The king would come back from fighting a battle with his men, and they would all be celebrated like heroes. They had, they would all walk into any bar and be like, "Hey, you're a hero, man. Sit down, I'll buy you a beer." You know, you know, sit down. We'll feed you. Hey, you know what? Your pants are a little worn thin. Hey, let's get the tailor up in here. Get you a free pair of pants. Because you fought for our country and you defended our honor. That doesn't happen anymore. Why? You've got vets coming back and they're disabled. They're going through hell. Okay? And a lot of the disability isn't like, an injury, like an actual physical injury. Most of the injuries are up here. Because they had to see all that shit and do all that shit. And they're not the same. My little brother, he's getting better because he's saying, you know what, I'm not letting this shit hold me back anymore. I'm going to live my life and do my thing. But he's still not the same. And I have friends that are disabled physically as well. They're not getting the help they need. They're not getting the health insurance that they need. They're not getting the tests and the specific care that they need. Why? They signed on that fucking dotted line. They gave their life to serve our country. And this is how we treat them? I don't fucking think so. I really don't. It makes no sense to me at all. Because every person, whether they come back walking off that, or walking off that plane, or being rolled off that plane in a casket, no matter how they come back, they are still heroes, and they should still be respected and taken care of. In an ideal society, hey, there wouldn't be any war, but peace is not profitable. War, in really fucked up ways, is. So there's not going to be peace, you guys. Those of you that think that world peace is possible, no. Get real. Peace is not profitable. Now, complacency is profitable. Part 3 coming up.